Hello guys, and welcome to Consecrated Bible Study. So last week we dealt with one really huge thing that feeds the flesh, or if you do it right, it can feed the spirit, and that thing was sleep. And if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch that video because that video is a blessing. And just a quick update, I've been taking my own advice from that video, and I've been going to bed early, waking up early, and I promise you I've been really consistent in spending time with Christ, and God has been just showing me so many things from His Word, and that's why I have to share, like, get sleep. But anyways, this video is not about sleep. That was the last video. This video, we're going to be dealing with something that has the potential either to really feed the flesh, fuel the flesh, or feed the spirit, or fuel the spirit. And this thing is none other than food. And the reason that my wife is here, this is my wife Liz. Hello. You know, and by the way, a little commercial break. Her YouTube channel is called Liz by Faith. And she has amazing content there, so if you haven't checked out her videos, go over there, check them out. I'm sure that you can learn something from them. But the reason she's here today is because the topic that we're going to be talking about is food. Food is something that brings people together. We have fast food, we have superfoods, we have all kinds of food in our society. But we wanted to discuss it because it has a huge impact on us spiritually and physically. So I wanted to start off by asking Liz, why do we eat food? I know that's a basic question, but why?
Well, I mean, to make it completely simple, it's to nourish our body. Really,
so
to keep us alive.
That makes sense. So food is to nourish our bodies, and that kind of makes me think about Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, where God gave us that original diet. And if you wouldn't mind turning with me, Genesis 1 verse 29, it says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." So God gave us the fruit and the herb for us to eat. But check it out. The next verse says in verse 30, "And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so. So even the animals were supposed to eat herbs or vegetables, right? And this is just such an important point because it's like we don't really hear about this. But why do you think God gave us that diet? Like, why?
You know, you have the maker of a vehicle, right? You have BMW or whatever, right? And they tell you what is the best kind of fuel to really give to that car. And so a BMW, right, you would have the premium gas. And so the first thing is to establish that God is our creator. And if He's our creator, then, and He gives us a specific food to eat, then I think we have to respect that because it shows us what is the best for us. And He gave us that diet because with His wisdom, He knows that those things have all of the nutrients that we need. And our body, of course, needs specific nutrients. So God is so amazing because He put all those things in there and told us exactly where to go to get those nutrients.
And the interesting thing is, the Bible says that we're made from the dust, right? Which is dirt. And if we're made from the dirt, that means all the nutrients and minerals that our body need is found in the ground. But God doesn't allow us to just eat dirt, right? Because we're made from dirt, and because the nutrients are there, we eat dirt. God created plants, God created herbs, things to extract the nutrients, that when we eat those things, our body could ingest these nutrients. And it's just such a beautiful process. So in our society today, we're very taste-driven, right? Why do you think we're so taste-driven?
The foods that we eat that are, I guess, stimulating are things that are also addicting because of the certain qualities and things that they have in there. It makes them addictive, especially things that were made by man, like high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that. These things all have addictive properties, and that's why I feel like that's where it started from, that people started to really focus on taste rather than nourishment. And therefore, now we've gotten so far that we eat according to our taste buds. We eat according to how things taste and not how they're going to help our bodies or how they're going to hurt our bodies.
So, like, is there a balance between taste and healthy stuff? Because, you know, most people affiliate health with things that taste bad.
tasting.
So, because I like things that actually taste good. I don't know about you guys, but what would you say?
I mean, God has provided things that taste good, and then there's things that taste bitter. But those bitter things are really good for you. But the things that taste good, you can implement them into that. You know, I mean, like for example, if you have a salad, a lot of people don't like salad without dressing. But a lot of the dressings that we are using now are unhealthy. But you can make your own dressings out of raw foods and stuff like that, which make things taste so much better. And then you have salt. God gave us salt, right? That to season stuff. And He gave us herbs that season things. And there's also fruit. Fruits are sweet. So they're really good. And so I think it's a change of a mindset is what we need. Because a lot of times we just eat according to what society says is good too. Because things are made to look really good.
And just to add there, you know, like, I'm a vegetarian. But even though I was a vegetarian, I did not eat I didn't eat healthy enough. To be honest, I didn't even like greens. And some of you guys, you're like, you're a vegetarian, you didn't like green. What did you eat? Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things that you can eat as a vegetarian that is not healthy for you. And I feel like that was me. I used to eat a lot of pasta, you know, a lot of processed stuff and things that had high fructose corn syrups in them. And it's like, you could be a vegetarian and still put in your body things that are actually probably even worse than meat. So I realized that, man, I need to eat more greens, and not just cooked greens, not just saute some bell peppers and some onions and some kale or chard or whatever, but actually raw greens. And let me tell you, the first day, it wasn't necessarily the best. But I realized that, man, I need to nourish my body. If I want to be in tune with God, and if I want my mind to be thinking on a different level, like, I need to train my taste buds, because you can actually train your taste buds to like these things. And as you were talking about dressings, you know, I started making like a really nice honey-based dressing that when I started eating my salads, it was so good. I was like, man, this is actually not bad at all. So, you know, for everyone that's a vegetarian and has cut out stuff out of, like, meat out of their diet, man, like, I say, you know, take it to the next step if you haven't already. And that kind of brings me to the next point. Would you mind talking about sugars? And I think you kind of mentioned it at first, but what is the effect on especially sugars on the mind?
Well, without going too deep into it, I mean, everything has an effect on our mind, because really, to make it short, the things that you eat go into your bloodstream, you know, and the things that are in your bloodstream go out into your entire body, but especially your brain, because your brain is what controls your body. So everything that you eat will eventually go directly to your brain and will feed your brain, and that feeds your thoughts. And so with sugar, there's been a lot of studies that show that sugar has an numbing effect on your brain, you know, or that it's like a drug, because sugar is addictive and everything, and it blocks certain pathways and things like that. So, taking that into consideration, obviously, if something is going to be blocking things and numbing your brain, then you are also numbing your ability to make good decisions. And also, I mean, it makes a lot of people tired, right? Because you have a high sugar spike, and then it goes straight down, and that's when you get really tired, and when you are just like, I just want to sleep. And so it affects a lot of things. Definitely.
And, you know, you kind of said something that caught my attention. According to the Bible, when we sin is a transgression of the law, right? But that, when you really break down that, it is a decision you make to do something that you know is wrong. That's what actually the Bible accounts for sin. So you know that something's wrong, but you do it anyways. And when you think about why you do these things, a lot of the times it's because of a weak mind. So the decisions you make over and over forms your character, and your character is the only thing that you will take to heaven. It only makes sense. But it's not only sugars, right? This is anything we put in our bodies that hinders our ability to serve God, that makes us tired. Like, food is supposed to energize us, to make us say, okay, what do we have to do next? Make us productive. So anything that you put in your body, start being careful. Start watching what you put in your body and see, is this food actually benefiting me or is it not benefiting me?